They took you for granted. And now they're about to learn the cost. People don't value what's always there. They don't appreciate what they think will never leave. But the second they fear losing it, everything changes. That's why right now, someone in your life believes they can treat you however they want, and you'll still be there. They've grown comfortable with your patience, your loyalty, your kindness, because you trained them to believe they never had to earn it. Let's be real, that's on you. No more excuses. No more, but they love me. No more, maybe they'll change. No more, if I just show them my worth, they'll finally appreciate me. If they haven't seen your worth by now, they don't deserve another second of your time. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because today you're about to wake the hell up. Now picture this. You walk into a restaurant every single week. You're polite, you tip well, you never complain. But each time they serve you cold food, bad service, and an attitude like they're doing you a favor. And yet, you keep showing up, smiling, paying full price. Do they start treating you better? Hell no. They assume you'll take whatever garbage they throw at you. That's exactly how people treat you when you keep accepting less than you deserve. And you wonder why they don't respect you, why they don't text back, why they only come around when they need something. It's simple. They don't fear losing you. They know, no matter how little effort they put in, you'll still be there, making excuses for them, waiting for them to finally see your value. But here's the truth. They already saw it. They just didn't care. And why would they? You made it too easy. You handed them your time, your energy, your loyalty, without asking for anything in return. You turned yourself into their emotional safety net, their backup plan, their comfort zone. And the second someone gets comfortable with you, they stop valuing you. So tell me, what happens when you take that comfort away? What happens when you stop being the one who always reaches out? When you stop replying to their half-hearted texts? When you stop being their emotional doormat and start acting like the high-value person you actually are? I'll tell you what happens. They feel it. They wake up one day and something is missing. Your energy, your warmth, your presence. The person they thought they could always fall back on. Gone. And it doesn't hit them through a text. Not through a long speech. Not through some desperate attempt to explain your worth. It hits them through your absence, through your silence, through your glow-up. Because people don't regret losing you when you cry. They regret losing you when they see you thriving without them, when they realize they no longer have access to the version of you they took for granted, when they see you moving forward while they're stuck exactly where you left them. And by then, it's too damn late. But here's the thing. This isn't about them. This isn't about making them miss you. This is about you. This is about waking up and refusing to let another person play games with your worth. This is about realizing that the only reason they were able to take you for granted is because you let them. And today, that ends. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to stop explaining yourself. Stop proving yourself. Stop begging for the bare minimum from people who couldn't care less. And most importantly, you're going to make damn sure they never get a second chance to take you for granted again. If you're done being the nice, understanding, always available person that people walk all over, say it out loud right now. I refuse to be taken for granted. Own it. Live it. Because what's coming next? It's going to make sure that no one, and I mean no one, ever takes your presence lightly again. Number 1. Stop breaking yourself for people who don't care. The harder you try, the less they value you. The more you chase, the faster they run. The more you give, the less they appreciate. That's the brutal truth. Let it sink in. Because right now, someone in your life believes you will always be there, always available, always understanding, always bending over backward to prove your worth. And the worst part? You've been feeding them that belief. You've been exhausting yourself, draining your energy, sacrificing your peace. All for what? A text back? A little effort? A moment of appreciation? But here's the question you need to ask yourself. Has it ever worked? Think about it. Has trying harder ever made them respect you more? Did they suddenly wake up one day and realize, wow, I've been treating them terribly, I should do better? Or did they just take your effort and keep doing the same thing? Be honest. Now picture this. You're at an auction. An item is up for bid and people are fighting over it. The price keeps going up because everyone wants it. Then suddenly, the auctioneer stops and says, "Wait, we're just going to give this away for free." What happens next? The bidders lose interest. They step back. What was once valuable suddenly feels cheap. Why? Because they didn't have to work for it anymore. That's exactly how people treat you when you keep giving without requiring anything in return. The moment you stop making them earn your time, your love, your energy, they stop valuing it. And yet, here you are, sitting and wondering, why don't they appreciate me? Let's be brutally honest. Because you made it too easy. You handed them your loyalty like a free sample at a grocery store. You gave them the patience of a saint, the consistency of a partner, the loyalty of a ride or die, all without them proving they deserved it. And deep down, you knew it. You felt it. But you ignored that feeling. Why? Because somewhere along the way, you were taught a lie that told you love is sacrifice, that if you just try harder, if you just give more, if you just prove yourself enough, they'll wake up and finally love you the way you deserve. But tell me this, when has trying harder ever worked? Did they stay because you kept sacrificing? Did they cherish you because you forgave them for the 100th time? Did they suddenly respect you because you lowered your standards to accommodate their bare minimum? No, because here's the truth no one tells you. The harder you try, the less they value you. Not just in relationships. This applies to everything. We don't respect what's handed to us. We respect what we have to work for. Look at people who win the lottery. They blow through millions because they never had to earn it. Look at employees who get promotions handed to them. They take their position for granted because it required no effort. Look at how you're being treated right now by someone who never had to work for your love. And you think giving more will fix things? You think proving yourself will finally make them realize what they have? Wake up. You're pouring yourself into someone who wouldn't lift a finger for you. You're sitting here exhausted, drained, wondering why they don't see your worth, when the real question is, why are you still trying to make them see it? Because the truth is, you were always enough. They just never had to earn you. And that's where you messed up. You gave them the loyalty of a lifetime for the effort of a stranger. You kept picking up the phone, kept checking in, kept fighting for a place in their life, while they barely lifted a damn finger to keep you in theirs. You trained them to believe that no matter what they did, you would stay. And now they don't appreciate you. Why would they? They didn't have to work for you. They didn't have to rise to meet your standards. You lowered yourself to accommodate them, and now you're paying the price. But that changes today. Today, you stop auditioning for a role they were never going to give you. You stop overgiving, over-explaining, over-sacrificing for someone who never once stopped to ask, "Am I good enough for them?" Ask yourself, when was the last time they tried for you? When was the last time they fought to keep you? When was the last time they put in effort without you begging for it? If you can't answer that, you already know what you need to do. But let's talk about that fear. The fear of, what if I stop trying and they leave? Let them. Let them walk. Let them feel what it's like to exist without your energy, without your support, without the privilege of having you in their life, because that's exactly what it is, a privilege. And if they couldn't see that when they had you, they sure as hell don't deserve the chance to realize it later. And don't you dare think that walking away makes you weak. Walking away makes you powerful. It makes you the one thing they never expected, unavailable. It makes you a mystery again. And trust me, nothing haunts people more than losing what they thought they could always have. So what do you do now? Now you rise. Now you stop chasing. You stop explaining yourself. You stop justifying why you deserve basic respect. You stop applying for a position in their life that they never even opened. You stop convincing someone to choose you when the right person would never need convincing. Because real love, real respect, real connection, it doesn't require you to break yourself just to be seen. And if someone only realizes your worth after you walk away, that's proof they were never worthy of you to begin with. So now it's time for a choice. You can keep running on this hamster wheel, exhausting yourself, hoping that one day they'll appreciate you, or you can step off, walk away, and finally become the version of yourself that no one, and I mean no one, can ever take for granted again. Number 2. When words fail, silence speaks louder. Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. Right now, you're talking too much, explaining too much, begging, pleading, trying to make them understand what they did to you, why you're hurt, why you deserve better. And what has it gotten you? Ignored, dismissed, overlooked. Because here's the truth. People don't hear words. They feel absence. You think if you just explain yourself one more time, if you just find the right words, if you just make them see your side, they'll finally get it. But tell me, has it worked so far? No, because they're not listening, they're not paying attention, they're not losing sleep over the pain they've caused you. And do you know why? Because they don't have to. They know you'll always be there, always reaching out, always making things easier for them. They've gotten used to your presence, your forgiveness, your willingness to smooth things over. They assume no matter how they treat you, you'll always be an option. But what happens when you take that comfort away? Imagine a radio playing 24/7. At first, you might listen. You might even like the music. But after a while, it just blends into the background. You stop noticing it. It's always there. So why pay attention? But then, suddenly, it stops. No warning, no static, just silence. And now you notice. Now you wonder what happened. Now you feel the emptiness where the noise used to be. That's exactly how people react when you go silent. They stop listening when you talk too much. They take your voice for granted because it's always there. But the moment you pull back, the moment you disappear, the moment your energy is no longer available on demand, now they feel the difference. Because people don't appreciate consistency. They appreciate scarcity. They don't value what's always available. They value what they might lose. And when you're constantly explaining, constantly proving, constantly forgiving, they get comfortable. They get lazy. They assume they can treat you however they want. And you'll still be there, handing out chances, making excuses for their half-hearted effort. And you play right into it. Because deep down, you're afraid. Afraid that if you stop reaching out, stop explaining, stop responding, they'll forget about you. Afraid that if you go silent, they won't come looking for you. Afraid that if you disappear, they won't care. But listen to me. If your silence makes them forget you, they were never yours to begin with. If your absence doesn't shake them, your presence never meant anything to them. Let that sink in. Right now, you're sitting here, thinking that one more conversation, one more explanation, one more emotional speech will change something. But tell me, when has talking ever worked? Has all your begging, all your over-explaining, all your efforts made them love you more, respect you more, value you more? No, because words don't teach people lessons. Loss does. And you're not about to teach them with your words anymore. You're about to teach them with silence. Silence is powerful because it forces them to sit with themselves. It forces them to fill in the blanks. It forces them to wonder. They expect you to react. They expect you to break. They expect you to keep running back like you always do. And when you don't, when you vanish without warning, without explanation, without one last dramatic speech, it messes with them, because now they have no control, no reassurance, no idea what's going on in your mind. And trust me, nothing haunts a person more than the unknown. Ever notice how the second you stop texting, stop calling, stop responding, suddenly they're watching your stories, liking your posts, sending out little breadcrumbs just to see if you'll bite? That's not love. That's ego. That's them realizing they're no longer the center of your world. That's them panicking because they don't have power over you anymore. But here's the catch. If you break now, you lose. If you answer that, "Hey, how have you been?" text, you lose. If you fall for that "I miss you" message that only comes when they're bored, you lose. Because the second they see you're still available, still waiting, still emotionally attached, they relax, they pull back. Because now they know you're still there, you're still theirs, you're still an option. And just like that, you're back to square one. So don't break. Because silence isn't about waiting for them to notice you. It's about you noticing yourself, noticing that you were never the problem, noticing that the real issue was that you kept explaining your worth instead of making them feel it, noticing that you don't need closure, you don't need validation, you don't need one last conversation, you just need to walk away. Because if they truly valued you, they would have acted like it while they still had you. Not after you went silent, not after they lost access to you. And if silence makes them realize your worth, that's their burden to carry, not yours. So what do you do now? Now, you disappear. No warnings, no explanations, no dramatic goodbyes, just silence. Let them sit in the void they created. Let them wonder. Let them regret. And while they're busy questioning everything, you move the hell on. You level up. You focus on yourself. You channel all that energy you wasted on them into becoming the best version of yourself. Because when they finally come back around, when they finally realize what they lost, when they finally start scrambling to get you back, you'll be long gone. And that's how you win. Number 3. Move in silence. Let success make the noise. They don't regret losing the one who begged. They don't lose sleep over the one who cried, who sent long messages, who sat around waiting. No, they regret losing the one who disappeared, leveled up, and became untouchable. The one who walked away and never looked back. The one who transformed so much that by the time they realized what they lost, they couldn't reach it anymore. And that's exactly who you're about to become. Picture a movie. The main character is betrayed, heartbroken, left behind. You expect them to fall apart, to beg, to break down, but they don't. Instead, they vanish. They disappear into the shadows. And when they return, they're stronger, sharper, more powerful than ever. And the ones who underestimated them, now they're the ones shaking. That's you. That's the energy you step into now. Because right now, someone thinks they broke you. They think you're still sitting in the same place they left you. They think they still have a hold on you. And why wouldn't they? You made it easy. You gave them everything. You fought. You showed up. You tried. But now you go silent. You don't announce your comeback. You don't post "I'm focusing on myself" quotes, hoping they'll see. You don't throw little hints, trying to get their attention. You just level up, quietly, ruthlessly, because real power moves in silence. People don't fear what they see coming. They fear what they can't predict. And when you stop being predictable, when you stop reacting, when you stop making your next move obvious, that's when they start paying attention. And let's be clear, this isn't about revenge. It's not about making them jealous. It's not about hoping they notice. This is about you, about reclaiming your time, your energy, your power, about becoming someone so undeniable that by the time they even think about coming back, they realize they don't have a chance. So what does leveling up really mean? It means getting your mind right. Stop replaying the past. Stop giving energy to things that drain you. Stop wasting mental space on people who wouldn't cross the street for you. Because nothing weakens you more than holding on to what let you go. You know what's more attractive than bitterness? Focus. You know what's more powerful than heartbreak? Discipline. When your energy shifts from wanting them to noticing yourself, everything changes. It means fixing your body, not for them, not for some petty revenge body moment, for you. Train like you're sculpting a new version of yourself. Feel the strength return with every drop of sweat. Look in the mirror and recognize the power staring back at you. Because every time you push yourself to be stronger, to be healthier, to be better, you are proving to yourself that you are no longer who you used to be. And that's a kind of confidence no one can take from you. It means building your empire, get your money up, secure your future, chase every dream you put on hold for someone who never even deserved your time. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, haunts people more than seeing you win without them. And when you finally show your glow-up, do it with quiet confidence. Not in a way that screams, "Look at me, I'm doing better," but in a way that whispers, "I wasn't even thinking about you." Because the moment they realize you're not seeking their attention, that's when they start paying attention. And they will watch, they will wonder, they will question everything. And when they finally reach out, when they finally send that weak, "Hey, how have you been?" text, hoping they still have a chance, they'll realize they don't even know the person you've become. Because the old you, the one who settled, the one who overgave, the one who waited, that version of you is dead. So now ask yourself, are you ready to step into your power? Are you ready to stop proving yourself to people who never deserved you? Are you ready to become so untouchable that by the time they even think about coming back, they can't? Because once you commit to leveling up, there is no going back. You rise, you evolve, you become. And by the time they realize what they lost, you'll be too far ahead for them to ever reach again. Number 4. If it's weak, it deserves no response. Every time you respond to weak efforts, you teach them that the bare minimum is enough. Let that sink in. Right now, someone out there thinks they can come and go as they please. They disappear for weeks, treat you like an afterthought. Then slide back into your life with a lazy, "Hey, how have you been?" And the worst part, you've been letting them. You've been rewarding their inconsistency with your energy, giving them space in your life they didn't earn, allowing weak attempts to take up space in your mind. And today, that stops. Imagine this. You own a 5-star restaurant. Your menu is exclusive. Your standards are high. People line up just for a chance to experience what you offer. But suddenly, someone walks in and says, "I don't feel like paying, but I'll take a plate." What do? Do you hand them a full-course meal, hoping they'll appreciate it and decide to pay next time? Hell no. You show them the door. Because once you start giving things away for free, you set the expectation that your value costs nothing. And that's exactly what you're doing every time you respond to weak efforts. A lazy text, a half-hearted, "I miss you," a reaction to your story, hoping you'll bite. These are not grand gestures. These are breadcrumbs, just enough to see if you're still there, just enough to check if they still have access to you. And when you respond, when you engage, when you take the bait, they win. Because now they know. They know they don't have to put in real effort. They know you're still available, still waiting, still hoping that maybe, just maybe, this time it's different. It's not different. If they cared, they would have shown you. If they respected you, they would have proved it. If they truly wanted you in their life, they wouldn't be giving you the absolute bare minimum and expecting you to be grateful for it. Right now, they're not afraid to lose you because they think they still have you. And let me tell you something. People don't learn through words. They don't learn when you explain. They don't learn when you cry. They don't learn when you send long messages about how hurt you are. They learn through consequences. They learn when they send that weak text and get nothing but silence. When they drop a little "miss you" and get no response. When they realize they no longer have access to your time, your energy, your presence. That's when it hits them. Because nothing haunts people more than realizing they lost something valuable because they took it for granted. But here's the part where you usually hesitate. What if they actually miss me? What if they've changed? What if this time they mean it? No. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And their first impression was weak. It was half-hearted. It was not enough. And if you respond now, you tell them that weakness is enough, that inconsistency is enough, that you're still the same person who will accept whatever scraps they throw your way. Are you? Or are you done playing this game? Because the moment you stop responding, the moment you stop rewarding their half-efforts with your attention, the moment you show them that their weak attempts don't even get a reaction, that's when they feel it. That's when they sit there, staring at their phone, wondering why you didn't reply. That's when their ego takes a hit. That's when they start questioning everything. And by the time they realize, it's too late. Because now you're out of reach. And listen, this isn't about playing games. It's not about pretending not to care when you do. This is about finally recognizing your worth and refusing to entertain anyone who doesn't meet your standards. So here's your new rule. If it's weak, it gets nothing. No more replying just because you feel bad. No more engaging just because you're lonely. No more giving second chances to people who never deserved the first one. From now on, silence is your response. And if they really want you, they'll prove it. Number 5. Become the plot twist they never saw coming. The moment they think they've figured you out, you've already outgrown them. Let that sink in. Because right now, someone out there believes they know you. They think they can predict exactly how you'll react, exactly what you'll do, exactly how much they can get away with before you finally walk away. They assume they have you all mapped out, like a predictable movie they've seen 100 times. And you've been proving them right. Every time they pull away, you chase. Every time they ignore you, you try harder. Every time they come back, you welcome them like nothing happened. And because of that, they've grown comfortable. They assume they can treat you however they want and still have access to you. They assume no matter how much they take you for granted, you'll still be there, waiting, hoping, proving. But that version of you? Dead, gone, buried. Because nothing shakes people more than realizing the person they took for granted is no longer the same, that the patterns they relied on, broken, that the reactions they expected, gone, that the comfort of knowing you'll always be there, destroyed. And now they have to question everything. Imagine watching a TV show where you think you know exactly what's going to happen next. The same storyline, the same characters, making the same mistakes. You're confident you've got it all figured out. But suddenly, plot twist. The character who used to beg for love, now untouchable. The one who always waited, now unavailable. The one who once over-explained, over-gave, over-loved, now out of reach. And just like that, everything changes. That's you. You are about to become the plot twist. Because right now, they assume they know you. They assume they've seen every side of you. They assume you're still the same person they walked away from. But you're not. Because today, you change the script. You stop being the one who reaches out first. You stop being the one who fights to keep them. You stop being the one who explains yourself, who over-explains, who waits around hoping they'll finally see your worth. You let your absence teach them what your presence never could. And let me tell you, nothing haunts people more than uncertainty. The moment they don't know what's going on in your head. The moment they can't predict your next move. The moment they realize they no longer have control over you. That's when they start to panic. Because suddenly, you're a mystery. And people don't forget mysteries. They obsess over them. They replay the last conversation, searching for clues. They check your social media, wondering why you're not posting sad quotes anymore. They start asking mutual friends if you've moved on, if you're seeing someone, if you even think about them anymore. And the scariest part for them, they don't know. They don't know if you still care. They don't know if they still have a chance. They don't know if they ruined things for good. And that uncertainty will eat them alive. Because let's be honest, when they thought they had you, they didn't appreciate you. They didn't respect you. They didn't value you. They got lazy because they thought you'd never leave. Now they don't have that luxury. Now they have to sit with their decisions. Now they have to wonder if they lost something irreplaceable. Now they have to live with the fact that they miscalculated badly. And by the time they realize what they lost, you'll be too far gone. Because this isn't just about making them regret it. This is about you stepping into the version of yourself who never has to prove their worth again. So here's what you do. You disappear. You don't announce it. You don't send a long message explaining why. You just remove yourself. You level up. You shift your energy, your focus, your attention. You become someone so powerful, so confident, so untouchable that even if they do come back, they wouldn't even recognize the person you've become. Because the old you, the one who settled, the one who overgave, the one who waited, that version of you is dead. And now you step into your power. You stop proving yourself to people who never deserved you in the first place. You become so damn untouchable that the past doesn't even recognize you anymore. And when they finally realize, it won't matter, because they won't even have the chance to reach you. Number 6. Never be their backup plan. The moment they believe you'll wait forever, they stop feeling any urgency to keep you. Let that hit you like a train, because right now, someone out there is walking around completely unbothered, completely confident that no matter what they do, no matter how long they disappear, no matter how little effort they put in, you'll still be there, waiting, hoping, holding space for them like a fool in love. And the worst part, you've been proving them right. You've been rejecting new opportunities, ignoring potential connections, sitting in some twisted emotional waiting room, convinced that if you're just patient enough, they'll eventually wake up and realize what they had. But let's get one thing straight. They won't. Because people don't rush to fix what they believe will always be there. They don't feel urgency to keep what they think they can always come back to. They don't fear losing you when they believe you'll never truly leave. And that is exactly why they haven't changed. Imagine you're at an airport waiting for a flight. The airline tells you it's delayed. First, 30 minutes, then an hour, then 2. But you stay, you wait, because deep down you still believe that flight is coming. But what if the airline never intended to take off? What if they knew you'd sit there waiting, hoping, wasting your time, while they had no plans of ever leaving the ground? That's exactly what they're doing to you. They're keeping you emotionally parked, knowing you won't board another flight, knowing you won't move on, knowing that no matter how many delays, no matter how much uncertainty, no matter how much disrespect they show you, you'll still be sitting there, waiting for them to take you somewhere you should have already gone on your own. And today, that ends. Because let me tell you something, the people who truly value you, they don't risk losing you, they don't leave you in limbo, they don't disappear to figure things out. They don't keep you hanging just to see if they have better options. They show up, they commit, they make it clear that you are a priority. And if someone is treating you like an option, if someone is comfortable knowing you'll always be there no matter what they do, you have one job: make them uncomfortable. Not by begging, not by arguing, not by making empty threats about leaving, but by actually walking away. Because nothing shakes a person more than realizing the safety net they took for granted is gone. No warnings, no dramatic goodbye speech, no "I just need to know where we stand" conversations. Just disappearance, just absence, just a complete and total shift of energy. Because here's what happens when you stop waiting. They start feeling what they never appreciated before. They start wondering why you're not there. They start questioning what changed, what happened, what caused you to finally realize your worth. And for the first time, they feel something you felt for far too long: uncertainty. They thought they had all the time in the world. They thought they could put in the bare minimum and still keep you around. They thought they could always come back. Now they don't know. And that unknown, it will wreck them. Because let's be honest, when they thought they had you, they didn't appreciate you. They didn't cherish you. They didn't value the gift of your presence. But when you stop waiting, now they have to face the reality that you were never a guarantee. And even if they come back, even if they send that "I miss you" text, even if they suddenly realize they want to talk, even if they try to slip back into your life like nothing happened, you don't let them. Because the minute you allow them back without making them earn it, you prove that your absence was temporary, that you were still waiting, that they still had control. And just like that, they'll relax again. Don't let them. Let them sit with the full weight of their choices. Let them truly feel what it's like to lose someone who once would have done anything for them. Let them wonder if they ever really had you to begin with. Because the second they know they lost you, that's the second they regret taking you for granted. So now ask yourself, are you finally done waiting? Are you finally done putting your life on hold for someone who isn't even checking for you? Are you finally ready to choose yourself? Because the moment you do, they'll never see you the same way again. Number 7. Become the standard. They'll never reach again. The only real punishment for taking you for granted is realizing they will never find another you. Let that sink in, because right now, someone out there still thinks you were just another option. They believe you were replaceable. They think they'll find someone else who gives like you did, loves like you did, forgives like you did. And the worst part, they believe it. They walk around with confidence that you'll always be available, that if they ever decide they want you back, you'll still be there. Confidence that they'll find someone just like you, or better. But you're about to make sure they never meet another you again. Imagine walking into a high-end luxury restaurant, the kind where reservations take months, the kind that serves the finest meals, the kind that leaves a lasting impression. You sit down, experience something unforgettable, but then you get up and walk away thinking, I can find something just as good somewhere else. So you start searching, you try different places, but one by one, disappointment hits. Nothing compares. The quality, not the same. The experience, lacking. The feeling, gone. And by the time you realize what you walked away from, you return, only to find the doors closed. The waiting list, full. That place you once took for granted, out of reach. That's you. You were the luxury they didn't recognize. You were the standard they thought they could find anywhere. And now they have to live with the reality that they were wrong. Because they will search. Oh, they will search. They will go from person to person, looking for the same love, the same warmth, the same energy you gave so freely. And for a while, they might even believe they've found it. Until they don't. Until they realize that no one listens like you did. No one supports them like you did. No one understands them like you did. And by the time they truly feel the weight of what they lost, it's too late. Because this time, you're not just moving on, you're elevating. You're stepping into the highest, strongest, most unreachable version of yourself. The version that no longer entertains weak attempts. The version that never, ever lowers their standards again. And listen, this is not about revenge. This is not about making them suffer. This is not about hoping they regret it. This is about you finally realizing that they were never the prize. You were. Because let's be honest, if they were truly worthy of you, they would have seen your value while they still had you. But they didn't. And that's the mistake they'll never be able to undo. Because here's the truth. People don't regret losing someone they took for granted right away. At first, they enjoy their freedom. They distract themselves. They tell themselves, it wasn't that special. I'll find something better. Until time passes. Until the silence gets too loud. Until they find themselves lying next to someone who doesn't make them feel like you did. Until they realize that no matter how many replacements they try, you were one of one. And that's when it hits them. That's when they replay every moment, every conversation, every detail about you they never truly appreciated. That's when they start asking themselves, what was I thinking? But by then, you don't even care. Because you've leveled up, you've healed, you've built a life so beautiful, so full, that their regret is nothing but background noise. So tell me, are you done being the person they assumed they could replace? Are you done settling for people who never even deserved a seat at your table? Because once you realize your worth, there's no going back. And by the time they finally understand what they lost, they'll never get the chance to have it again. Number 8. When they leave, lock the door behind them. If they had to lose you to see your value, they never really valued you to begin with. Read that again. Let it sink in. Because right now, someone is about to come back. They always do. Not because they've changed. Not because they finally understand your worth. Not because they suddenly see you as the best thing that ever happened to them. No, they're coming back because they lost control, because their ego took a hit, because they assumed you'd always be available, and now you're not. And you're about to make the biggest mistake of your life if you let them back in, because the second you do, you prove to them that losing you was never a real consequence. Imagine quitting a job that overworked you, underpaid you, and never appreciated you. You finally move on, find something better, start thriving, and suddenly the old job calls. We miss you. Things will be different now. We realize what we had. But let's be real. They don't miss you. They miss the way you broke yourself for them. They miss the way you tolerated what no one else would. They miss the way they could take without giving anything in return. And the second you say yes, they relax. Because now they know they can treat you like an option. They know they can disappear and come back whenever they want. They know they can neglect you, disrespect you, and walk away without losing anything, because you'll always take them back. And that is the fastest way to destroy your own worth. Because when you take them back, you're not just letting them back into your life. You're telling yourself that you were never worth more. That all the hurt, all the disrespect, all the bare minimum they gave you before, it was acceptable. And trust me, they will repeat the cycle. They will do it again. They will leave again. They will take you for granted again. Because why wouldn't they? You just showed them they can. But you're smarter now. You're no longer the person who settles. You're no longer the person who waits around for someone to finally see your worth. You're no longer the person who believes words over actions. Because if they truly saw your worth, they wouldn't have had to lose you to realize it. Because if they truly loved you, they never would have risked losing you in the first place. Because if they truly changed, you wouldn't have to be convinced. They would prove it. And let's be real. If you have to wonder whether or not someone is serious about you, they're not. People don't fumble things they value. People don't risk losing what they know is rare. People don't take chances with the ones they love. So let me ask you, are you still waiting for them to convince you? Are you still hoping that maybe this time will be different? Are you still entertaining the idea that they finally understand what they lost? Or are you finally ready to close the damn door forever? Because here's the truth. If you let them back in, you erase everything you just worked for. You erase the growth. You erase the strength. You erase the lesson. And for what? For someone who only realized they wanted you after you stopped wanting them? Absolutely not. You are done explaining your worth. You are done proving your value. You are done allowing people to think they can walk away from you without consequences. This time, when they come back, they find the door locked. And trust me, nothing will haunt them more than realizing they can never get back what they so carelessly lost. Now it's your turn. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because what's coming next, it's going to make sure no one ever takes you for granted again.